Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Carlton Smith of the National Broadcasting Company speaking to you from Warm Springs, Georgia. Tonight we invite you to attend by radio a very unusual family Thanksgiving dinner, a dinner presided over by the President of the United States. In the dining room of Georgia Hall on the Georgia Warm Springs Foundation have gathered some 300 people, the patients here for after treatment for infantile paralysis, residents, and a few guests. No officialdom, just a big family party. At the speaker's table are 12 very happy people. 12 patients, most of them children, chosen by lot to sit with the President and to be served turkey by him. The President has come down from his little white cottage on Pine Mountain with Mrs. Roosevelt. He's now in an adjoining room and will be here to take his place at the head of the table in just a few minutes. We want you to hear the reception his friends here give him, and then you will hear the President himself in a brief address. And now the President has just come in with Mrs. Roosevelt. He's going to the head of the table, and there's the applause that greets him the first time that the patients have seen him in spite of the fact that he's been here since Monday. He's now taken his chair, and Mrs. Roosevelt and the President behind the microphones. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
We, the several hundred members of the Warm Springs family, old and young, are gathered here again for our annual Thanksgiving dinner. But before we attack the turkey, I want to say a few words not only to you, but to many other people in every part of the country on this day of National Thanksgiving. First, about Warm Springs itself. The physical picture draws nearer to completion each year. The ramshackle old buildings of 12 years ago have either been completely modernized or replaced by new fireproof structures. And when I got here the other day, I was delighted to see the new schoolhouse and the new medical center rising above the ground. I'm glad we're to have a schoolhouse because we know that it is of the utmost importance to have the education of the mind keep pace with the re-education of the muscles. And then, too, medical science has made such great strides in the past 10 or 12 years that the treatment of the after effects of infantile paralysis calls for many new forms of hospital care, in addition to the water exercises and swimming of the older days. Today we have the tradition of work well done. We have also the same ideal of continuing progress backed up by determination and courage, what we call the spirit of Warm Springs. We're looking forward to the time when we can take care of at least 200 patients at a time, or in other words, treatment for about 400 patients in any given year. Several years ago, we expanded the work of Warm Springs by helping communities throughout the country to raise money for the care of their own infantile paralysis cases, and through their generosity, to give financial help to the cause of research into the origin of the disease. Last year, we took a further step by establishing the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis. And after January 30th, 1939, we hope to have permanent chapters of this National Foundation in all of the more than 3,000 counties that make up the United States. At the time of the birthday celebration, half of all of the funds raised in each county will be retained in trust for the chapters for local use, and the other half of the fund raised will go to the National Foundation for the national fight against infantile paralysis. This Thanksgiving Day, we have much to be thankful for. I wish that all who hear my voice could be with us and see this gathering of old and young in the big dining room at Warm Springs. We are thinking not of ourselves alone, but of tens of thousands of other children and grown-ups, and wishing for them that they may be having an equally happy Thanksgiving. lots of turkey, and lots of fixings. I have had many telegrams today, Thanksgiving telegrams. There's one that I want to read to you from an old friend who's helped Warm Springs in past days very greatly. Eddie Cantor, the comedian, the actor. And he gives me a thought that I think we can all think over. May you and yours have a happy Thanksgiving. I am thankful that I can live in a country where our leaders sit down on Thanksgiving Day to carve up a turkey instead of a map. Now we'll have the blessing said, and after that, we'll go to it.
From America, greetings on Thanksgiving Day, 1944.
This is Lionel Barrymore, men, your old collection of hash marks. And they've put me here at the head of this Thanksgiving table to dish out the entertainment victuals to you fellas overseas. By way of an appetizer, Percy Faith and the orchestra are offering a medley of tunes as American as a hot dog and a ham sandwich on rye. Music from America, north, east, south, and west. We like to have all the folks around the table for Thanksgiving, and we are mighty pleased this particular member timed her trip abroad so she'd be back with us today. Dinah Shaw.
And hi there, everybody. This is Dinah. And this being Thanksgiving, Wally Brown has turned host and invited us over to his house for Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, thank heaven. It was beginning to look like Eatless Thursday. Let's go. Come on.
Well, I guess this is the house.
Well, Dinah Shaw.
Well, Wally Brown.
Oh, gee, Dinah, I'm glad you were able to make it. What did you do, bring your own turkey?
Turkey? Wally, that's Harry Von Zell.
Just a minute here. I do not look like a turkey. Or do I?
Well, not a live one. Well, come on in. Come on in. Make yourselves at home.
Gee, you got a nice place here, Wally. You were lucky to find a house like this with a swimming pool and all.
Oh, it isn't bad. All except the front walk.
What's wrong with the front walk?
Every time I come home at night, I bump into those gasoline pumps. I mean, you...
Oh. You see, I told you, Dinah, that wasn't the swimming pool we passed. That was the grease pit.
Come on, here, let me hang your things up.
Oh, brother, look at the moths in that closet.
Oh, Harry, where's your holiday spirit? After all, it's Thanksgiving for moths, too.
Sure. What can a moth eat? Just a stuffed cup on a blue plate?
Well, now, look, fellas, can't we talk later? I'm hungry.
Harry, where are your manners? Don't be so impatient.
Well, I'm not impatient.
Then stop chasing that moth.
Well, let's get started. Dinah, you sit over here,
Okay.
and Harry, you sit over in that high chair.
Oh, thank you. Wait, a high chair? Wait a minute, this thing is a trap. I won't be able to get at the food.
I think of everything, don't I? Well, how do you like it? Look at that turkey. He was raised strictly on corn.
Yes. And around here he had plenty to eat, too.
Oh. Okay, kids, pass your plates. Harry, leave your teeth alone.
No, it didn't.
Wrong plate.
Hey, butter! Look, he's got butter. Butter he's got on the table. Wonderful stuff.
Harry, it goes on the bread. You don't spread it all over town.
I haven't had, excuse me. Wally, please, just a moment. It happens that that's my elbow you're dunking in the gravy there.
Well, anything with meat on it these days. Tell you what I'll do. I'll give you 4 points for it.
I'll take it.
Oh, I thought so. Okay, kids. What do you have?
I'll have some white meat.
There you are. Harry, what part would you like?
Well, what's the difference? I know what part I'll get.
Oh, well, you know, this is a pretty good dinner, if I have to say so myself. And I guess I'll have to say so myself. This is a pretty good dinner. Oh, Thanksgiving. Strange how it all started, isn't it?
Tell us a Thanksgiving story, Wally.
Oh, but that's done it. And after dinner storyteller, probably he'll do card tricks, too.
You talked me into it. Well, it started way back in there was a boatload of pilgrims. They left from they landed at they were poor. They didn't have any, they were on the rocks. There were hundreds of them. They were all trying to, but there wasn't enough room. I mean, how could they all fit into one Plymouth?
Wally, who was at the head of this party?
Oh, this really wasn't a party, Dinah. It was very serious. Everybody worked. There was one fellow worked like his name was John Smith. The one and only John Smith, but he branched out. Well, look at the telephone book now. Boy, that Smith guy, he really got around. He liked to travel. He was a hitchhiker. He took a ride on he went as far as, he went up to he was right in the middle of he was lost. But he had a check, only he couldn't get a cash. The banks were closed. I mean, they always are on Thanksgiving. Ah, that first Thanksgiving. What a crowd. I'll wait. What a crowd. More people were trying to, you couldn't even park and in those days, they didn't have any. I mean, everybody came. Even the Indians came. They had a reservation.
Thank you, Dinah Shore, Wally Brown, and Harry Von Zell. And now, gang, here's another neighbor who's dropped in on us for a free drumstick. John Charles Thomas.
The chorus and I would like to sing the beautiful old Dutch traditional hymn of Thanksgiving. Or you may know it as We Gather Together to Ask the Lord's Blessing. We gather together to ask the Lord's blessing. He chastens and hastens His will to make known. The wicked oppressing, cease them from distressing. Sing praises to His name. He forgets not His own. Beside us to guide us, our God with us joining, ordaining, maintaining His kingdom divine. So from the beginning, the fight we were winning. The Lord was at our side, all glory be thine. We all do extol Thee, Thou leader in battle, and pray that the sinner defender wilt be. Let Thy congregation escape tribulation. Thy name be ever praised. O Lord, make us free. Lord, make us free.
Now, since it's Thanksgiving Day, fellas, let's look in on the typical American home. The time is just after dinner, and we find ourselves in the living room of the Lancelot Higgins household, which boasts that sweet, unforgettable character, Baby Snooks.
Oh, what a meal.
Daddy.
Snooks, please. I can just about stagger to that couch.
I got a funny feeling in my tummy.
Funny feeling?
Yeah.
You feel like you didn't get enough to eat?
No, I feel like I don't want all I got.
Well, just drink some water and forget about it.
I can't forget about it.
Why not?
'Cause I'm hungry.
You just said you had too much to eat. Now you're hungry.
I'm sleepy, too.
Well, go to bed.
I ain't that sleepy.
Snooks, it's Thanksgiving. Let me go through one whole evening without punishing you.
All right, Daddy. You got my permission.
Oh, this is a night for gratefulness, for benevolence. Look, why don't you run across the street and ask how old Mrs. Hooper is?
I did, Daddy, just like you told me.
What did she say?
He said it's none of your business how old she is.
Well, then go inside and help Mommy with the dishes.
Why don't you do it?
Because a man's place is not in the kitchen.
Is it on the couch?
Now, don't be impertinent. Just run along and stay away from that icebox. If you eat any more turkey, you'll turn into a turkey.
Will I talk like a turkey?
Yes.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Oh, the child is right. I suppose I should go in and help the little woman with the dishes. But then why should I spoil her? I'm so clumsy I might break one. Thanksgiving.
Daddy.
Snooks, is that your voice? Where are you?
Right here.
Where? All I see is a scrawny little turkey.
That's me.
You? Good heavens, Snooks. How did you get to be a turkey?
He said if I eat any more, I'll turn into one.
Oh, Snooks, you didn't go back for more turkey, did you? Did you?
Didn't I?
And look at me. I'm covered with feathers. Could it be that I'm a turkey, too? Could that be?
Could be.
Snooks, this is weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Lancelot Higgins, a turkey. Gone my bubbling laughter. My flashing smile. What can I say to the neighbors?
I know, Daddy.
What?
Gobble, 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 gobble.
This is no time for jokes. I'm a turkey. And yet I don't feel like a turkey.
How do you feel, Daddy?
Foul. Not bad, eh?
Daddy.
What?
You may be a turkey, but you ain't changed much.
Oh. Why, look, Snooks. We're right in the middle of a barnyard. Well, if I didn't know I was wide awake, I'd think I was dreaming.
Daddy, there's a duck with eyeglasses.
Quiet, Snooks. It may be Frank Tours.
And look at that cute little chicken.
Oh, chicken, eh? Cute little chicken. Well, greetings, my feathered friends. Where is this luscious leghorn?
Frank Morgan.
Daddy, Mr. Morgan is a hen.
Correction, my mealy-mouthed little muppet. I happen to be a rooster. A hen is the female of the species. Bless their little hearts.
I'm certainly glad to see you, Frank. We're new in this barnyard.
Well, I'm just visiting myself. I have a farm of my own, you know.
That's funny, Daddy. He's a rooster, and he has a farm.
Well, what's funny about it?
Do you crow in the morning to wake yourself up?
She's such a girl. Of course, I have a farm with cows and chickens and ducks, and I have a prize bull that weighs 10,000 pounds.
10,000 pounds?
Oh, yes.
Ain't that a terrible lot of bull, Mr. Morgan?
Everywhere I go,
I get the same thing. Well, see you later. I have a date with a gorgeous Guernsey at one of the local watering troughs. Elsie's her name. She's a model for Borden's.
Goodbye, Frank. Don't get yourself into any hot water.
Hot water? What have I got to worry about? I'm not a turkey.
Snooks, I didn't like that laugh. What made him laugh?
Maybe his feathers tickle.
No. Snooks, do you know what day this is?
Mm-hmm. It's Thanksgiving Day.
Exactly. Do you know what that means?
Sure, it means we're going to have turkey for dinner.
No, we're the turkeys. They're going to have us for dinner.
Who?
Us. Oh, what was that?
It's a man with a gun, Daddy. It's Mr. Mudge.
Mudge?
Yeah.
Why, of all people, he hates me. He'll wring my neck. Snooks, you've got to protect me.
I got to protect you.
Yes, I'm a great big heavy-set bird. You're just a runt.
Why don't you protect me?
Don't be silly. Who'd want to eat a scrawny, sawed-off, tired-looking little turkey like you? Listen. He's got a machine gun.
That ain't a machine gun, Daddy.
Oh, what is it?
It's your knees knocking.
Oh. Snooks, he's coming this way. Talk to him. I'll hide behind this rock.
All right, Daddy. Leave it to me.
Hey, you. You haven't seen a turkey around here named Lancelot Higgins.
Lancelot Higgins?
Yes, he's that big flannel-mouthed bag of wind who used to live next door to me.
Never heard of him.
Don't give me that. I know he's around somewhere. Do you know what I'm going to do when I catch him?
You're going to stuff him.
Right. And then you know what I'm going to do?
Uh-huh.
What?
You're going to kick the stuffings out of him.
Exactly. What was that?
It's somebody's knees knocking.
Whose knees?
Flannel mouth.
Uh-huh.
Run, Daddy. He's on to you.
Snooks, stop splashing. Where are we?
We're in a swimming pool, Daddy.
Well, look over the side and see what's cooking.
All right. Daddy.
What?
We're cooking.
I knew it. He's boiling us alive.
You're going to taste awful good, Higgins.
Mudge, you can't do it.
Stop him, Daddy.
You can't cook us alive. It's murder. Let me out of here. Let me out of here. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out.
Daddy.
Oh, Snooks, it's you.
Who'd you think it was?
Oh, you're not a turkey, are you?
No, I'm Snooks.
Oh, Snooks, my little girl. Oh, you never looked more adorable.
Me?
Yes. Come here and let me kiss you.
Don't you feel well, Daddy?
Never felt better, Snooks. And I just realized we have a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah.
Here I've been sleeping on the couch while your mother's been doing the dishes. Well, I'm going right in and straighten up the kitchen with her.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow I'll clean up the woodwork with her. And I'll think of something else for Saturday.
Mommy's already thought of something.
Oh, she has? How do you know?
Well, she just said she was going to mop up the floor with you.
Now I'm really cooking.
Thank you, Fanny Bryce, Hanley Stafford, and Frank Morgan. Now, Dinah Shaw and the chorus join to bring us an Irving Berlin song inspired by the American spirit of Thanksgiving.
Thanks for the Yanks, and for Russia's giant guns, and for all the other sons of freedom. Thanks for the Yanks, and for China and the Dutch, and for all who've done so much for freedom. For Canada, for England, Australia and New Zealand, for fighting French and millions more along the South Pacific shore, they will keep their native land a free land. We've got plenty to be thankful for.
I've got plenty to be thankful for. I haven't got a great big yacht to sail from shore to shore. Still, I've got plenty to be thankful for. united to be thankful for. For the men who bear the title of a United States Marine. And for those men who shout, "Anchors aweigh!"
And for each proudly sail as they hit the dusty trail, and those caissons go rolling along.
And all the men who fly, spouting their flame from under, off with one hell of a roar. I'm thankful, too, that this is true.
Nothing will stop the Army Air Force. We got plenty to be thankful for.
How could anybody ask for more? My needs are small. I buy them all at the 5 and 10 cent store. Yes, I've got plenty to be thankful
This is Lionel Barrymore, fellas, winding up this Thanksgiving spread with just one or two more words. It's pretty tough for any soldier or sailor to get excited about Thanksgiving Day when he's a few thousand miles away from home and the cranberry sauce. But let's all be thankful anyway that we've got a country to come home to that's rich in its natural bounties and opportunities, and rich in its friendship with other nations who have proven themselves strong and helpful in hastening that day when tyranny ends, and we celebrate a real Thanksgiving.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
The Jell-O program, brought to you by Jell-O and Jell-O Pudding, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with One on the House. The biggest dessert news in years. That's what folks everywhere are calling Jell-O's new locked-in flavor. Never has Jell-O tasted so rich and delicious. Today, it's even better than ever. And all because of a wonderful new process that locks in all of Jell-O's grand flavor. Keeps it from fading. Keeps it at full strength till the moment you use it. Today, Jell-O's vivid original goodness is locked right into the tiny Jell-O particles, where time can't touch it. It's protected against fading or changing in any way. And it comes out of the package just as rich and full-flavored as it went in. Prove it for yourself. Open a package of Jell-O. Notice that there's no heavy, fruity aroma, no sign of escaping flavor. But when you dissolve the Jell-O, you unlock its captive goodness. And out it pours for your pleasure. So order Jell-O tomorrow. Look for the big red letters on the box. And be sure to get Jell-O. The flavor never goes away. We put it in, and it's there to stay. Was One on the House, played by the orchestra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take you back 3 days and show you how Jack Benny entertained the gang on Thanksgiving. The time, 2 p.m. last Thursday. The scene, the kitchen of Jack's home in Beverly Hills, where we find Jack, Mary, and Rochester preparing the dinner. Take it away.
Now, what else? Oh, yes. Rochester, hand me those little plates there, will you?
Here you are, boss.
Let's see. A black one for Phil, a green one for Alice, a black one for Don, a green one for Mrs. Wilson, a black one for Mary.
Say, Jack, make mine a green one. I don't like ripe olives.
All right, I'll switch you and Don. There.
I'm hungry. I think I'll eat mine now.
Drop that. I don't want you to spoil your appetite. You know, we're having wild duck for our Thanksgiving dinner.
No chipped beef this year, eh?
Not unless we run short. Rochester, what are you putting in that dressing?
I thought a dash of gin would snap it up a little.
What? Who ever heard of putting gin in dressing?
On Central Avenue, it's a must.
Well, I don't want it in this dressing. And put that gin back in the first aid kit. Oh, Mary, take a look in the oven and see how the ducks are coming along.
Okay.
What was that?
They're not quite done yet.
Now, look, that noise came from some live ducks I got in the basement. These ducks here should be done by now. What time did we put them in the oven, Rochester?
About 10 o'clock last night.
Let's see, that's 16 hours. They're done all right. They sure look tender, don't they, Mary?
Tender? The middle one looks like Humphrey Bogart.
What an imagination. Now, Rochester, take each duck and stuff the dressing in it.
I ain't gonna touch old Humphrey.
Cut that out. Now, get busy and stuff those ducks.
Okay. Where's the shoehorn?
You don't need a shoehorn. Now, let's see. A green olive for me, a black one for...
Say, Jack, why don't you give those olives a little company and put some celery on the plate?
Celery? Okay. Open the icebox and get some.
I don't know the combination.
It's 45 right, 23 back, and 10 right. That's it.
Can I borrow your pencil, boss?
Don't bother writing it down. I'm changing it tomorrow. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, a green one for me, a black one for Billy Getz. That must be Dennis. Open the back door for him, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
Send that kid on an errand. He takes all day.
Where'd he go, Jack?
Over to Ronald Coleman's to borrow something.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're always borrowing from Mr. Coleman.
That works both ways, Mary. Within the last year, he's borrowed over a dozen of my best eggs.
Your eggs?
Yes.
His chickens laid him in your garage.
That doesn't make any difference. That's the same thing as the grapefruit near the fence. What hangs over is mine. Even Coleman's lawyer admits that.
Well, don't ever hang your head over the fence or Coleman will pick your toupee.
Ha, ha, ha. I'm screaming.
Here's the punch bowl you wanted, Mr. Benny.
What is that?
Here's the punch bowl you wanted.
Thanks, kid. And what have you got in that bag?
Some corn. Mr. Coleman says please feed it to his chickens.
I've been feeding him plenty. Now, Dennis, the gang will be here pretty soon, so rub some of this burnt cork on your face.
Okay.
Burnt cork, what's that for?
Dennis is going to help serve dinner tonight. It's an emergency. I hired Rochester's brother, and he didn't show up. What happened to him, Rochester?
I was wrong, boss. He got 60 days instead of 30.
Oh, well, I can use him New Year's Eve. Now, Dennis, Rochester will be busy here in the kitchen, so it'll be your job to... Whoop, there's the front door. Now, here's your chance to practice. See who's at the door, Sylvester.
I's going, Mr. Benny. I's going.
Say, that's all right.
That boy does the worst blackface I ever heard.
Not so easy. I'd like to hear you do Irish sometime. Come on, Mary. We'll sit in the music room until the gang gets here.
A jukebox and an old fiddle, and you call it a music room.
Don't run down that jukebox, Mary. And incidentally, I wish you'd stop playing it with lifesavers. You've got it all sticky.
Mr. and Mrs. Wilson are here, Master Colonel Benny.
Don't overdo it. Well, hello, Don, Peggy. Welcome to the Chateau Benny.
Oh, hello, Jack. Hello, Mary. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Well, you're looking fine, Peggy. Take Mrs. Wilson's coat, Sylvester.
Yeah, the yep.
I wish he'd hold it down a little.
Well, 2 servants tonight. You're kind of putting on the dog, eh, Jack?
Well, it's a big party. Gee, Peggy, I'm sure glad you and Don were able to come to dinner today.
Yes, I am, too. Don's been gaining weight again, and I'm so happy he's someplace where he can't overeat.
Good. Well, I hate to disappoint you, Peggy, but there's going to be plenty of food on that table.
Yes, and I love chipped beef.
We're having wild duck. Now, let's have a little music while we're waiting. Mary, put a nickel in the jukebox.
I've only got one. I'm saving it for the apple machine.
All right, I'll put one in. That is if I've...
Here's a nickel, Jack.
Thanks. Say, here's one of Phil's records, Chattanooga Choo Choo. He sings the chorus on this one. Very cute, too. Wait till you hear it.
Pardon me, boy. Is that the Chattanooga Choo Choo? Track 29. Then you can give me a shine. I can afford to board a Chattanooga Choo Choo. I've got my fare and just an inkling to spare. You leave old Pennsylvania Station about 3:45. Read the magazine and then you're in Baltimore. Dinner on the diner, nothing could be finer than to have your ham and eggs in Carolina. When you hear that whistle blowing 8 to the bar, then you know that Tennessee is not very far. Hurry up and coal in, gotta get a rollin'. Hoo-hoo, Chattanooga, there you are. There's gonna be a certain party at the station, satin and lace. I used to call Funny Face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that'll never wrong. Oh, Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? There's gonna be a certain party at the station, satin and lace. I used to call my bunny, honey, funny face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that'll never roam. So Chattanooga choo-choo, hooey, hooey, Chattanooga choo-choo, hooey, hooey, Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home?
Isn't Phil a ham? He even puts applause on the record. That was a good number, though.
Yes, indeed.
By the way, Peggy, I don't believe you've been in my music room before, have you?
No, I haven't, Jack. And you've got some lovely old pieces here. Who furnished it? Harry's Hawk Shop.
I only got the melodeon there. You know, Peggy, if you look around, you can get some of the...
Uh-oh. Here comes your boarder.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to him. His arm's in a sling. Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Billingsley.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Having company for dinner, I see.
Yes, the others will be here pretty soon. Won't you have a seat?
Oh, thanks. I never touch them.
By the way, Mr. Billingsley, I noticed your arm's in a sling. How did you happen to break it?
I was putting on my long underwear this morning, and I fell off the ladder.
Oh, well, why do you have to climb a ladder to put on your underwear?
When I say long, I mean long.
Oh, I see. Won't you join us for dinner, Mr. Billingsley? We're having wild duck.
No, I'll have a glass of dressing later. Good night.
It's getting more eccentric every day. But who else would pay me $800 a week for room and board? An amazing character, you know.
Mr. Benny, can I speak to you confidentially? It's very important.
Oh, now what? Excuse me, folks. What is it, Rochester?
Boss, those ducks ain't never gonna get tender.
Why? What happened?
I just stuck a fork in one of them and it kicked gravy all over me.
Now, that's ridiculous. It probably slid in the pan. That's all.
You may be right, boss, but I don't think it would hurt to shoot them just once more.
Don't you dare. I shot those ducks. All you've got to do is cook them. I want dinner served as soon as Mr. and Mrs. Harris arrive.
But, boss...
Now get back to the kitchen. Dum-dee-bum-bum-ba-beam-ba-bum. Dum-dee-dum-dum-da-deem-da-dum-dum. Oh, sorry, folks.
What's the matter, Jack?
Oh, Rochester's having a little trouble with the ducks. It seems... Well, everything will be all right now. Yes, sir.
Jack, what was that noise? It sounded like a gunshot.
How do I know? Well, folks, just as soon as There's someone at the door, Sylvester. Sylvester, answer the door.
That's dough, boss.
All right, answer the dough. And don't shuffle, just walk. Say, Don, would you like a cocktail before dinner? Eh, Don?
Definitely no.
Well, I can see who wears the pants in that family.
With Don's, there's room for both of them.
You said it.
Announcing Mr. and Mrs. Phil Harris.
Phil!
Hiya, Jackson.
And Alice.
Hello, Phil.
Well, Alice, I'm sure happy you were able to come to dinner.
Oh, I wouldn't have missed it for anything, Jackson.
Jackson. She calls me Jackson. You know everybody here, don't you, Alice?
Hello, Alice.
Oh, why, Peggy, I haven't seen you since our trip to New York.
And Alice, you know Mary Livingston, huh?
Oh, why, of course I do. Hello, Mary. So nice seeing you again.
Hello.
Hello. That's a fine greeting.
Who cares how many fan clubs she's got?
Mary. Don't pay any attention to her, Alice. You see, Mary is always jealous of any girl that shines up to me.
Well, who's shining up to you?
Well, I mean that you...
Explain that, Jackson.
Don't get excited, Phil. Now, look, fellas, let's not have a brawl. I don't want duck stains all over the furniture. Well, this is the first time you've ever been to my house, isn't it, Alice?
Yes, and I think it's furnished in very good taste. What did you mean, Phil, I should wear my old clothes?
Why, Phil, you little rascal. Say, Mary, call up Luella Parsons and tell her Alice Faye is visiting me.
She'll never believe it.
She will, too. And call Harrison Carroll.
Say, Phil, I want to congratulate you on your performance last night in The Courtship of Miles Standish.
Yeah, it's the best play our night school ever put on, Don.
Oh, yes, Phil, you were excellent as Priscilla. But as long as you were playing the part of a girl, why didn't you shave before you went out on the stage?
I didn't want people to think I was on the level.
Well, it spoiled it a little for me. By the way, Phil, use the ashtray, Peggy. These rugs are expensive. By the way, Phil, that's the girl. By the way, Phil, Phil, did you get those flowers I sent you before the performance?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the Christmas anthem.
Christmas anthem?
Phil, I told you last night it's one word, chrysanthemum.
Oh, lay off, honey. I don't want no lecture on Thanksgiving.
Behave yourself, Phil, or I won't read that book to you anymore.
What book are you reading to him, Alice?
Oh, you know, Jack. A is for apple, so round and red. B is for butter. You spread it on bread.
What? Are you kidding?
C is for crackers. You eat them in bed. I know them all.
See, you'll be up to the Rover boys pretty soon. Well, I don't know about you folks, but I'm going to have a cocktail before dinner.
Oh, don't, Jack. You always act so silly.
I do not.
One cocktail, and it's, look, fellas, I'm a Spanish dancer.
Oh.
A Spanish dancer?
By that time, he's wearing a lampshade.
Well, someone's got to put a little life in the parties around this town. Oh, Sylvester.
Yeah, the boss.
Go out in the kitchen and tell Rochester we're ready for dinner.
As a Gwen, hold that barn. Lift that bed.
Oh, shut up! Well, Alice, I hope you're good and hungry. I'm on a diet myself. You see, I have to be on account of the new picture I'm making.
I knew he'd get around to that.
Quiet. You see, I'm working opposite Carol Lombard, and I must look my best.
Well, Jack, I've seen you in pictures before, and as I recall, you always look very nice.
Yes, I imagine I do, but of course I look much younger on the screen.
Oh, much.
Mary. You know, Alice, now that we're both at 20th Century Fox, maybe you and I will be working together soon.
Who knows? I think we'd make a swell team.
Yes, you with your youth and beauty, and me with my suave, debonair charm.
You're right, Phil. He is hammy.
You know, Alice, the next time I see Mr. Zanuck...
Dinner is served, folks. Walk. Do not run to the dining room.
Oh, boy, Now, this way, everybody. Now, Don, you take Alice. Phil, you take Peggy. And Mary... Oh, Mary, call up Hedda Hopper and Jimmy Starr and Herb Stein. Tell them that Alice Faye's having dinner with me today.
Okay.
And call Sidney Skalski, too.
Skalski?
Yes.
Who's going to boost him up to the telephone?
He's got a ladder like Billingsley. All right, everybody, grab your seats. And take your time now. There's plenty for all. Come on. We're all buddies. Boy, what a dinner.
Say, this dressing is delicious, Jack.
I'm glad you like it. Oh, Rochester, serve Mrs. Harris some more duck. Will you have another piece of duck, Alice?
No, thanks. I'm still chewing on my first piece.
Well, you've got beautiful teeth. Use them. I think the duck is very tasty, don't you, Mary?
Yeah, but the next time you go out shooting, be more careful. Mine's full of buckshot.
Mary, that's what that bowl is for. Dump the buckshot in the bowl.
Oh.
That's it. Personally, I think this is the finest meal that
Pass me that bowl, will you, Mary?
Here you are, Phil.
Thanks.
Well, I really banged away at that one, didn't I? But I still say this is a lovely dinner.
Yeah, everything from soup to lead.
Never mind, and have another cranberry.
One cranberry, you're supposed to have cranberry sauce.
Well, squash it. Are you helpless? What's the matter with you, anyway? Oh, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
Bring me a sharper knife. I got Humphrey. Say, Alice, Alice, I have a real treat for you. After dinner, I'll take you downstairs and show you Carmichael, my polar bear.
Oh, that's swell. I love animals.
You do? Have you got any pets, Alice?
Oh, just Phil, my little reformed wolf.
Good. Yes, sir. Some more dressing, Don?
No, thanks. By the way, Jack, where's Dennis? Didn't you invite him to dinner?
Yes, I wonder what happened to the kid.
Me too.
Mary, now don't give it away. Oh, Sylvester, have we heard from Mr. Day?
Yeah, he phoned and left word that he was having dinner with Miss Hetty Lamar.
Hetty Lamar?
That boy sure gets around, don't he?
All right, Sylvester, stop leaning on the table and get busy. Enjoying the food, Peggy?
Oh, it's fine, Jack. And the dressing's delicious. What's in it?
I really don't know. Oh, Rochester?
Yes, boss?
What's in this dressing?
What ain't?
He's like all good chefs, Peggy. Just won't give away his secrets. Get another bowl, Rochester. This one's full. Everything all right, Alice?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've never been to such a novel dinner party. Imagine, Phil, I got a prize in my dressing.
A prize?
Uh-huh. Look, a shoehorn.
That is a novelty, isn't it?
I got a Red Cross button in mine.
Well, hand it over. I joined yesterday. That reminds me everybody should, especially this year. Rochester, I think we'll have our dessert and coffee in the music room.
Okay, boss.
That is, if everybody's had enough duck. Come on. Let's go in the music room.
What are we having for dessert, Jack?
What do you think?
I'll bet $1,000 it's Jell-O with that new locked-in flavor.
You win, Don. The flavor never goes away.
They put it in and it's there to stay.
Say, let's have some entertainment while we're waiting for the coffee.
Yeah, what do we do?
Well, we can... Oh, I know. Hey, look at me, fellas.
Jack, take that bowl of fruit off your head. You don't look anything like Carmen Miranda.
Well, somebody's got to entertain.
Well, what about Alice singing a song for us?
Yeah, what about it, Alice?
Come on, Alice. Won't you sing a song?
Come on.
Come on, will you?
You hear that, Alice? Will you sing for us?
Wait till I finish chewing this duck, huh?
All right. And I'll tell you what. If you sing, I'll accompany you on the violin.
No, Jackson. No, not that.
All right. Come on, Alice. What's that song? Alice, what's that song you did in your new picture, Weekend in Havana?
You mean Tropical Magic?
Yeah, that's it. You sing Tropical Magic, and I'll pull rabbits out of a hat. Quiet, everybody. Alice is going to sing.
Tropical magic, strange fascination, moon of temptation, black velvet sky. Tropical magic, lost in your splendor, love will surrender to a passionate sigh. Whispering shadows out of a midnight, whisper manana, but never goodbye. Music is playing, tropical magic. You'll have me saying adios to my heart. Manana, but never goodbye. Music is playing tropical magic. You'll have me saying adios to my heart, adios to my heart.
Well, anyway, folks, that's just about what happened at Jack's house last Thursday. Alice sang her song, and then we all played games and had a swell time. And just as we were leaving, we could hear Rochester calling Jack.
Mr. Benny,
What is it, Rochester?
what'll I do with all this duck that's left over?
Well, we can have it tomorrow night.
What about the mashed potatoes and all this drink?
Very tasty.
Okay,
Make a pie out of them. Cranberry pie is delicious, you know.
okay. Oh, say, boss,
What?
I think we ought to turn this buckshot over to the government for national defense.
That's a very good idea. Early yet, so I'm going out to see a movie.
Is that still playing around?
I don't mean Charlie's Aunt. See you later.
Good night, boss.
Good night, Rochester.
One of Mary Livingston's favorite Jell-O desserts is a swell treat called peach and banana mold. Because I think you like it too, I'm going to pass it right along. It's an easy recipe to remember. Its main ingredients are canned sliced peaches, sliced bananas, and lime Jell-O. And you combine them like this. Make up one package of lime Jell-O as you usually do. Next, arrange 1/2 cup of canned sliced peaches on the bottom of the mold and pour the Jell-O over them. Then slice one banana into the Jell-O and chill until firm. When you unmold it, you'll have a beautiful 3-layer dessert. Golden peach slices on top, sliced bananas embedded on the bottom, and in between them and surrounding them, clear, glistening emerald lime Jell-O. Many grocers are featuring canned sliced peaches and lime Jell-O all next week. Get both and make up this grand treat. Just be sure when you buy to ask for Jell-O, because Jell-O's new locked-in flavor gives you all the flavor, always.
This is the last number of the 8th program in the current Jell-O series, and we'll be with you again next Sunday at the same time. Well, Alice, it was awfully sweet of you to come over tonight and show the folks what happened last Thursday, and your song was really wonderful.
Oh, thanks, Jackson.
Jackson. She called me Jackson. Good night, folks.
Alice Faye appeared on our program tonight through courtesy of 20th Century Fox Pictures.
In gelatin desserts, it's Jell-O. In puddings, it's Jell-O pudding. And every well-stocked pantry should include them both. Jell-O puddings are rich, luscious desserts that you make with milk. And they come in 3 popular flavors: chocolate, vanilla, and butterscotch. Jell-O chocolate pudding is a pudding that even Grandma would be proud to make. It has a smooth, creamy, homemade goodness all its own. A mellow chocolate flavor developed exclusively for Jell-O puddings by the famous Walter Baker chocolate people. Tomorrow, when you order Jell-O, ask for Jell-O puddings. They're just like Grandma's, only more so. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI, Los Angeles.